Welcome to BFM News at 2. I'm David Kim. The South Korean Health Ministry began deploying military doctors and public physicians to hospital emergency rooms today to address staffing shortages caused by mass resignations of junior doctors. 15 military doctors were sent to 5 hospitals, including Ewha Women's University Medical Center and Aju University Hospital, with plans to dispatch around 230 more to other hospitals. The shortage stems from protests by 13,000 junior doctors opposing the government's decision to significantly increase medical school admissions quotas starting next year. This ongoing protest has severely strained the medical system, forcing hospitals to reduce surgeries, outpatient services, and emergency room operations. The head of South Korea's financial regulatory body urged today for collaborative efforts across industries to address the growing household debt issue. Lee Bo-kyun, the chief of the Financial Supervisory Service (FSS), emphasized that attempts to control the rise in household loans would be unsuccessful unless all lenders participate in the effort. In a meeting with banking officials, customers, and financial experts, Yi noted, quote, "I acknowledge that the banking sector has recently started taking voluntary steps or measures to manage risks, recognizing the need to keep household loans at a safe level," end quote. However, he also expressed concerns about the balloon effect, where loan information spreads quickly, and stressed the need for coordinated action from all financial institutions, including banks, insurance companies, and smaller lenders, to rein in household lending. In local news, Fatih Birol, the Secretary General of the International Energy Agency (IEA), highlighted that the challenge of a future electrification during the clean energy transition, stating that governments and companies worldwide should actively pursue the construction of power grids. Birol made these remarks in his keynote speech titled "Securing Energy Security" during the Clean Energy Transition at the 2024 World Climate Industry Expo held at Bexco today. He pointed out 3 key challenges of the clean energy transition. 1, diversifying the supply chain for clean energy manufacturing and critical minerals. 2, ensuring electricity security. And 3, defining the role of nuclear power. The Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy and the IEA announced that the Korea-IEA joint declaration the previous day, which focuses on supporting the CFE initiative, which promotes the broad use of all carbon-free energy sources to achieve early implementation of carbon neutrality by 2050. Busan City said today that it has selected 3 local market communities to participate in the 2024 Busan Alleyway Support Program, designed to revitalize small neighborhood markets. The selected communities are the Hwamyeong-Jangmi Village Merchants Community in Bukgu, the Mandogi Road Merchants Association in Bukgu, and the Gangnidangil Community in Junggu. Busan City announced that it had started the 2024 Mobile Moonlight Theater at 18 locations across the city, including Sambok Road, starting with the Small Film Festival in Suyong District. The program will run until the end of November. Sponsored by the city and organized by the Busan International Short Film Festival, the event is a free film screening aimed at residents living in areas with limited access to cultural facilities, particularly those unable to visit movie theaters. In international news, Columbia University began the new academic year with renewed protests and heightened security following last year's large demonstrations against Israel's military actions in Gaza. On the first day of the term, pro-Palestinian protesters, many wearing keffiyeh scarves, gathered outside the university's gates, chanting "Free Palestine" and banging drums. And now taking a quick look at the weather here. It's currently 30 degrees Celsius in Busan City with the feel-like temperature at 31 due to humidity. Clear skies will continue throughout the day. And that'll have to do it for this hour's news. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to BEFM 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM 부산영어방송.
Coming up next is 2 p.m. Reboot with Casey McKeever. BEFM 부산영어방송.
Just how much do you want to live a long, long life? You're probably already eating well, right? At least most of the time. And you try to keep fit when you remember to exercise, and you don't smoke, right? You've given up successfully many times, I'm sure. So what other lengths are you prepared to go to? In the past, people have tried many different ways to live for a long time, and some of those are more pleasant than others. But today, we're going to talk about the secret to a long life from one of the world-famous 94-year-old entrepreneurs. It's Wednesday, September 4th. This is the 2 p.m. Reboot. Let's get it started. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard the song Every Breath You Take by The Police to start off the show. And that song is off of their 1983 album and their final album, Synchronicity. The interesting thing about that song, it might be one of their most famous songs, but it almost ended in the trash can. That's the famous story behind this song. And they've recently released one of the original demos of the song earlier this year. And you can kind of hear how it was not what it became, what you just heard now. And one person who deserves probably the credit and is looking for the credit is the guitarist from The Police, Andy Summers. He famously kind of just reinvigorated the song. They were kind of at odds on where the song should go, what instruments go where. And Sting kind of just told him, go into the studio and make it your own. And he did. And they said, according to Andy Summers, he said the producer was like, oh, that's going to be a hit. It's going to hit number one. And everybody clapped as soon as he finished cutting his guitar line. So there you go. Sometimes you never know what might rescue a song. Every Breath You Take, obviously, did go on to be very successful for them. And it actually appeared on the soundtrack of all kinds of movies. The 1999 Julia Roberts movie Runaway Bride. It was used in Risky Business way back in 1983. It was used in Speed 2, The Replacements, 50 First Dates, Young at Heart, What Just Happened, and Heartbeats, just to name a few of the films that song has been in. And it's always misunderstood. It's not a very romantic song if you carefully listen to the lyrics. Yes, be careful when you listen to lyrics sometimes, right? I would not use that song at your wedding. That's my advice. You're listening to us live in the studio here in Busan on this Wednesday afternoon. We're coming to you from BEFM 90.5 here in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Jeongwon, and Noksan areas. In Seoul, we're on TBS EFM 101.3 FM. And in Gwangju, we're on GGN 98.7 FM. And thanks so much for joining us on this Wednesday, wherever you might be today. My name is Casey McKeever. I'll be your host today and throughout the rest of the week. I should let you know, this is going to be the last week of the 2 p.m. reboot. If you didn't know that, I'm here to remind you that today. But that's okay. We still got a fun-filled week for you. Stick with us. We'll be on the air until Sunday, this Sunday, September 8th. Basically, our last full live show is going to be on Friday, September 6th. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we will feature our reboot highlights. So, be sure to catch those too. And then on September 9th, there will be a brand new program launching here after the fall change of season here at BEFM, and it will be an exciting show, I'm sure. And maybe I'll be allowed to give you a little bit more information about it throughout the week. We'll see. I'll ask. I'll get some permission first. I do want to let you know also that we are broadcasting and streaming right now on YouTube as well. So if you want to join us there, go to youtube.com and search BEFM or Busan영어방송, and you can see me in all my glory. What am I wearing? A dark blue shirt today. Yes, the dark blue. Yes, I'll be wearing the dark blue shirt today. And you can message me there as well. You can say something like, good afternoon, for example, or hi narok, or whatever you prefer. Give me any kind of greeting you like. And if you want to know what's going on in the show today, we've got a lot, as usual. And hour number one, first up, we've got Hot Off the Press, and that will be 2 new songs that have recently been released from the world of music, and we will give you some information about the artists and the songs as well. And today is Wednesday, so Jimmy will be stopping by for All Around Busan. And you know what? If you've been listening to this show all summer long, as I have with you, you'll know that Jimmy comes in every Wednesday to introduce one of the various neighborhoods, or dongs in Korean, that is in Busan's 16 districts. So I'm curious, what's it going to be for the very last All Around Busan on the 2 p.m. reboot? You have to wait and see. In hour number 2, we're going to have our daily list. And today, we were talking about at the beginning of the show, I was talking about, what it takes to live long. If you really want to live a long time, all the things you have to do. And apparently, somebody has released the secrets of his long life. He's somebody we recently talked about, also on a daily list, I believe, Warren Buffett, one of the richest people in the world, turned 94 last week, and we're going to look at his secrets to longevity. And, some of that might be having a good amount of money. You might say that. We'll see. We'll see if that's on the list. And because today is Wednesday, we're also going to go into Inside Korea. We do this every Wednesday and Thursday. We look at some stories, some events, some news, some culture, things happening here in South Korea. And we'll also have our perfect playlist, songs to motivate you for the new semester. I need it today. It's just only Wednesday. I know. I'm only 3 days into the new semester. I'm tired. I need some motivation. So we'll play some songs to help you with that and myself as well. And I will be checking your messages throughout the show. So if you'd like to reach us here, feel free to do so. And if you want to answer today's question of the day, it is, if you could live over 100 years old, what would you like to do after that? What would you like to do next? 100살 넘게 살 수 있다면 100살 이후에 해보고 싶은 것은 무엇인가요? You know, there are people that do live to be that long. I just recently read that I think one of the oldest women in the world just passed away this year. I think she was 117, and she continued to do all kinds of stuff throughout her life. And you know what? She was like, I'm going to keep enjoying myself. So yeah, think about it. You pass 100 years old, what would you like to do? I think if I pass 100, I think I'm going to go skydiving again. I did it once already, and I'm in no hurry to do it again. The strange thing is, after I did it, and by the way, I have a fear of heights. I'm not the person that you would imagine would go skydiving. I don't even like flying in planes, period. But I actually was convinced, let's say, by my wife to go do it. And immediately after landing on the ground, I was ready to do it again. I cannot explain why. I just wanted to. I was so pumped up. I just wanted to do it again. And then about 2 hours later, I was like, what was I thinking? Why would I do that again? But if I live to 100, I think I might give it another shot. And I've seen people in their older years also attempting things like that. So I think that's what I would do. I would be like, all right, I'm going to give this another try. If you have something you would like to do after the age of 100, let me know. You can reach us here at shop 9050 or pound 9050 for 101. You can reach us for free on Kakao Talk if you search BEFM or 부산영어방송. And you can also reach us for free. I forgot to mention the smartphone app. I'll do that right now. I did forget to mention, if you do check us out on YouTube, unfortunately we can't stream the songs there. There's a music copyright issue. So we apologize, but the songs will be muted on YouTube. The way around that is we do have a smartphone app you can download as well. You can go to the App Store on your phone and search BEFM or 부산영어방송 and download the app, and you can listen to the show completely uninterrupted that way wherever you take us. You know, wherever you put your phone, we can go with you. And also you can log in and leave us comments that way as well. So that's another way to reach us. And of course you can message us on the NoTube chat there as well. Yes, it might be a fascinating place where you could accidentally learn Romanian, for example. Today's Romanian phrase of the day, ce mai faci, which means, how are you? What are you doing? Combination. There you go. So if you'd like to let me know what you'd like to do over the age of 100, please send me your message. I'll be happy to check it out. We're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to Love on Top by Beyonce, and then we'll be back with Hot Off the Press. You're listening to the 2 p.m. Reboot, and that last song was Love on Top by Beyonce. And now it is time for Hot Off the Press. We do this every Monday through Friday. We bring you 2 songs that have recently been released and give you some background information about the songs and the artist. And every day, we try to pick songs that we think you're really going to enjoy. And the first one is a really curious one for me. This is called The People's House, and it's by Bon Jovi and The War and Treaty. So back in 2006, Bon Jovi teamed up with Jennifer Nettles of a country duo called Sugarland, and it was for a duet version of their song, Who Says You Can't Go Home? Good decision. It became a Grammy-winning hit, so well done. So now Bon Jovi has teamed up with another country duo for a duet version of a song on Bon Jovi's latest album, and that song is called The People's House, which appears on the album Forever. And while, Bon Jovi are generally regarded as a are they regarded as a country act? No, they're not. Okay. I'm assuming they're talking about The War and Treaty. Bon Jovi is not. They're typically considered a rock pop band. But okay, so they're combining with a country duo, and the idea, I guess, is the focus of the song as well is about healing the division that currently exists in the United States. If you read the news, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I guess that's the idea, like melding different genres together. And through music, we can bring people together. So cool, very cool for the first song. Our second song is Easy Distraction by James Bay. James Bay has shared this new single and paired it with a music video, and the song was written, or co-written actually, by the Killers' Brandon Flowers, who actually recently received 2 Guinness World Records for the classic song Mr. Brightside. So making some records there with the Killers. Probably a smart move. Easy Distraction is an acoustic melody that will be featured on James Bay's upcoming studio album, Changes All the Time. That is scheduled to be released on October 4th, 2024. So here's a little early taste of the record. So our 2 songs for today Hot Off the Press. Our first one is The People's House by Bon Jovi and The War and Treaty, followed by Easy Distraction by James Bay. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard the song Easy Distraction by James Bay, and before that was The People's House by Bon Jovi and The War and Treaty, our two songs for today's Hot Off the Press. And I got a couple messages I want to share real quick for today's question of the day. If you could live over 100, what would you like to do after that? Trey Hisugnim saying, good afternoon. Skydiving is not my life. Okay, gotcha. So you're not going to do the skydiving thing. Okay. When I'm over 100 years old, I might travel around the world. I've been saving for my trip. When I retire, I plan to do that. Cool. That's a great idea. Travel around the world. I like that one for sure. And 1437M also saying, unlike over the past couple of months, no sweat during the morning walk. Thanks largely to cool breezes. Surely fall is around the corner. Amen. I've been feeling that for the last couple of days today. And let's see, speaking of longevity, from my viewpoint, healthy lifespan is so much more critical than just the mere extended number of years. In order to do so, eating and moving are two key factors in a long, healthy life. In moderation is always easier said than done in an era where food is everywhere. Amen to that as well. It is hard sometimes to avoid that junk food out there. Still, definitely, many are in hunger and need, though. It might be good saying less is more in terms of maintaining a healthy and happy lifetime, for sure. I totally agree with that as well. And Jogum Tong Nim saying, I could start to learn another foreign language, maybe Romanian. Aha, Hai Narok, yes. When you're over 100, you can do whatever you want. I think that's kind of the feeling we get, right? If you make it there, cool. It's kind of like a new beginning in a way, right? So if you want to reach us, please send us your message. I'll be happy to read it. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Jimmy and All Around Busan. All right, that music means Jimmy is in the studio on this Wednesday. Hello, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy in the building.
That's right.
Hello.
Jimmy's giving me life advice during the songs there. I'm considering what to do. So thank you
Right.
for coming in for your personal counsel,
No worries.
but also for All Around Busan, which is the original purpose for being here.
I won't get paid. No worries.
Oh, you're not going to ask for money for that?
No.
Free advice?
Yep.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. He's giving me vehicle advice. I'll let you in on the secret. He gave me a little bit of vehicle advice. I'm taking it to heart. But, of course, Jimmy comes in here every Wednesday for All Around Busan.
Right.
And this is the final All
I
Around
know.
Busan for the 2 p.m. reboot. Shall we cry?
Yeah, shall we? It's actually the 41st edition. Yeah, episode.
Look at
that. All Around Busan. So
You kept track.
we've actually been to we covered like almost all neighborhoods. I mean, of course, there are more to go, but like those major ones and hidden ones, we basically covered almost all neighborhoods in Busan.
I learned a lot all summer long. I learned a lot, and it was very useful information for me because, as I mentioned earlier in the summer, I had visitors coming, and I was like, I don't know what to do with them. Jimmy, what do I do? He's really good. Like, if you need advice, just hit Jimmy up for a message.
With that one, I should get paid.
Okay,
You
fair
owe
enough.
me one.
Fair enough. Yes,
right.
I should. I owe you something for sure. I definitely
sure.
owe you. So actually, I was curious. I was saying at the very beginning of the show today because this is the last one. I was
Right.
like, oh, which one is he going to do for the final one?
Final one. I'm actually taking you guys to Haeundaegu Chadong.
Oh, okay, cool.
Are you familiar with that neighborhood?
Yes, I think I used to live there.
Oh,
I think I used to live there. Is Jangsan in Jadong?
Yes. For
Yeah?
those of you who might not know where Chadong is exactly located in, it's easy. It's right between the subway stations of Changsan and Jungdong Station.
It is confirmed. I lived in Jangsan. I lived in Haeundaegu, Jadong. Oh, I lived there for, I'm going to guess, 4 years.
Right.
But I felt like I really didn't even scratch the surface on what's going on there. Like there was like regular places I would go to, obviously Jangsan, but
Yeah.
there was a lot I just kind of never really had the time to explore. So I think you're going to tell me things I didn't even know.
Yeah, the reason why I chose Changsan for our last episode is that many people are definitely familiar of the Haeundae
Right.
beach area.
Right.
But then that's not it, because Chadong is more likely for the local vibes.
Yes. And actually, there's like, I think still, maybe even more so than when I lived there. I'm going to say I lived there, good guess. I'm going to say 10 years ago.
Wow.
Maybe, yeah. But I probably lived there 10 years ago. And at that time, there was like a pretty large foreign community that was building.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it's even bigger now.
Right. It's actually considered as one of those first new town
Right.
in like 1990s.
Right.
And then now it's kind of considered as old because it has been like over 20 years.
You can't be new
But
forever.
then now they actually named the neighborhood as Green City.
So it's been kind of renamed.
Yeah, like eco-friendly and nature. And then you know the reason why they named it that way because we are surrounded by the beautiful mountains and beach. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, you could actually, I would sometimes literally walk from my apartment, which was very close to Jangsan Station. I would sometimes actually walk to Haeundae.
That's possible though.
Yeah.
Right.
I would more often bicycle because I'm kind of lazy. But, yeah.
Bicycle, probably you can reach there within like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds about
By
right.
foot, you can just go there within like less than 20 minutes for sure.
Maybe, yeah.
Depending on how speedy you walk though.
Right. If I'm walking, I'm not walking fast.
Right,
I'm
right.
always walking slow. Yeah, but yeah, definitely there's a lot of green around the area, so that makes sense for the new name, especially like Jangsan Mountain, obviously right there. A lot of people go
sure.
spend time there for sure. Is there anything I don't know, do you think, that I don't know about udon?
Yeah,
Or jadong.
I mean, jadong.
Jadong.
Yeah.
Udon's the other side.
You already mentioned about Changsan, so we don't really have much things to cover. But that's actually one of the major hiking trails for local residents and also the foreign individuals. Like a lot of international visitors actually at least one time try to visit and they kind of run for the hike. So it's gonna be either Hwangryong Mountain or Changsan.
Those are the two main ones that people go to?
Right.
Is there a reason somebody would choose Jangsan over Hwangryong, you think?
Why? Because as you know, once you go almost to reach to the top, they actually do sell some, noodles and
Right.
like pajans. So
And what goes
that's
good with pajan? What fascinating drink would go good with pajan?
makgeolli?
That's the one.
Shike, yeah.
That's the one, right?
Maybe that's one of the reason. And
Right.
then also, it's really easy to approach.
Yeah.
From Changsan Station, that's probably like 15 minutes walk.
Right.
With a car, like 5 minutes. And then
And don't take your car on the weekend. It's
Right.
from what I remember, it could have changed, but I doubt it. It is hard to find parking on the mountain. If you're gonna go on like a Saturday or Sunday walk, just walk.
Sure.
My advice, take the subway, get out of the subway, and walk straight up.
And it's actually kind of, well, from my perspective, it's kind of easy to go all the way to the top because that takes less than like 3 hours.
Really?
2 hours and a half. Yeah.
I hope I don't surprise you. I've never been to the top. I've never.
Next
been.
time, I think I should drag you up.
You would have to drag me up. I think after. So you said it would take about 3 hours
Yeah.
from the bottom to the top.
Right.
After like hour number 1, you'll see me kind of start to slow down and like sit on a big rock and be like, I think I'm done.
So for those of you guys, I kind of knew that you're going to say this, Casey. So for those of you who cannot be able to reach all the way to the top, here is another suggestions for you guys. You guys can come down.
Yep.
And then right between the Changsan Mountain and Changsan Station, there is a very, very popular Chadong traditional market.
I spent a lot of time there.
See?
I know exactly where you're talking about. And they have new parking there since I
Right.
since I moved out. So the parking there is much easier than it used to be. Yeah,
And
for sure.
they actually provide all like various type of menus and
Yep.
food. So you don't really need to hesitate.
Yeah, there's one of my favorite things. It's seasonal, of course, but I used to get bungeopang or ingopang.
Yeah.
I used to get that right there, and there's a lot of hotak, little stalls
Sure.
with that. So if you're looking for like simple, quick snack food, they got that. But then it's like it's a smaller traditional market.
True.
But they've got basically anything you're gonna need. There's I guess I can't say brand names, of course, but there's all kinds of traditional foods.
Yeah.
Kalguksu
That
and
too,
right.
and grilled eel.
Right. Oh, yep.
And
yep.
like steamed pork.
Yeah, and I believe you can
everything.
get hoi there still. I haven't been in a
raw
while, but-
fish, of course.
Yeah.
Like everything is all there
Right.
for you to just go and make a visit.
And fresh produce. You want fresh fruits and vegetables? Come on. You
Yeah.
can get that too.
So
Yeah.
location-wise, it's pretty much what I like about Chadong. It's pretty much all walking distance.
Yes, and easy to walk. A lot of neighborhoods in Busan, because they're not new towns, the roads, kind of developed haphazardly, let's say.
Yeah.
And, because of mountains as well. So sometimes the sidewalks get really, really narrow.
For sure.
And then if you're taking a bicycle, you're like, oh, do I go on the road? Do I go on the bike path? It's not clear. It's very clear there. It's really, the sidewalks are like wide. It's
Right.
really easy to get around, whether you want to take a bicycle or just walk.
For
And
sure.
there's plenty of space. So I always
Definitely.
appreciated that. for sure.
Definitely.
Anything else about Jwadong in particular that you think is noteworthy?
Oh, have you ever heard about ASEAN Culture House?
Yes.
ASEAN 문화원. Oh, wow, really?
That's is that right across from, not right across from, that's fairly close to the market, no? Is that the one, or am I thinking of the wrong
that
place?
too, but that's also right across from like one of the major hospital.
I know what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Okay, I've got the two places confused. There's like
Right.
two cultural centers in
Right.
Jwadong.
Right.
One of them is closer to the traditional market, kind of crisscross across the street. And you're talking about the ASEAN, what is it called again?
문화원, ASEAN 문화원, ASEAN Culture House.
Right. That's a little further up if you're headed towards like Songjong.
Songjong area, yes, correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's a really big facility.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually association of the Southeast Asian nations.
Right.
And it is a cultural platform that connects Korea and ASEAN through empathy and companionship. So they actually provide a lot of exhibitions, and then you can actually try out for the cooking classes.
Oh, cool.
Right. And they also provide the language classes.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
they I mean other culture like lectures and cultural experiences. So for those of you who's interested in trying out this ASEAN culture, you can just directly go there and then sign up.
Perfect. And I've actually been there not that long ago, and I'll tell you about that after a break. We're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to Budapest by George Ezra, and then we'll be back with Jimmy and more all around Busan.
livido.
Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard the song Budapest by George Ezra, a place I recommend. Have you been to Budapest?
Not yet.
Okay, we were talking about traveling during the song break there.
Right.
So, yeah, I recommend if you ever get the chance, go to Budapest, especially on New Year's Eve.
Oh.
It's insane. It's insane. Oh, that's all I'll say. I don't know if they do it like they did it in 2005, 6, whatever that was. But it was a wild New Year's Eve for sure. But,
All right.
But we're not here to talk about Budapest. We're here to
sure.
talk about Busan.
Yes.
Right? And we were talking also about ASEAN. Before the song break, we were talking about the ASEAN Culture House. Is that
Yes.
Yes, okay.
ASEAN
Cool.
Culture House.
Okay, cool. So, which is located in Jwadong in Haeundae-gu. And I was telling Jimmy that I've actually been there. I'm trying my best to remember what the event was. I think they just got so many events there.
I definitely have been that one too, but I just can't not remember the name of it.
Basically, what it was like it was a cultural event where you could see different clothing, different kinds of relics, accessories from different cultures, but also they had food stalls.
I know.
They lined the whole outside with food stalls, and you had to buy tickets in advance, and a lot of people didn't know that.
Right.
So it kind of created a little bit of a line, and it was a long wait for food, but it was well worth it.
Yeah, that event wasn't that huge, but then what I liked about that was every individuals from like all different countries, they all gather together, and then you get to try out all those multiple, cultural things, and then you get to actually talk to them. So
yeah, for sure.
Those kind of experience was just phenomenal.
And that particular occasion was interesting for me because English is usually, in my experience as a world traveler, English is the language I often see people use to communicate, right? As a second language, where it may not be both people's first language. In that particular event, I noticed people were using Korean as the communication language.
Right.
And it was cool. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, it's people who are integrated into the Busan community and just kind of showing a little bit about where they come from and, food. There's
For
food.
sure.
So, if you have a chance to go check out that place, very cool. I highly recommend it. And, like if you're not sure where it's at, basically going from the middle of the new town or Green City area and heading towards Songjeon. Right. And you'll see it. It's a very big building on the right.
And that's also a walking distance from Changsan Station too. So
Yeah, for sure.
You can actually definitely take public transportation as well.
Yeah, a lot of buses stop by there as well.
Right.
Cool. So what else are we going to talk about with Jwadong?
Well, what I like about Jwadong, another point is they have plenty of bakeries. Not just the franchise, but then they have like those local bakeries, all kind of hidden here and there.
Right.
And also at the same time, art galleries too.
Really?
Many people think that those art galleries are all located in Dalmaji Hill. But then there are some major ones and also hidden ones in Jwadong as well. So it's going to be fun for the hidden gem.
So Dalmaji-gil would not be part of Jwadong. That'd be a different section?
Yeah, that's...
Okay,
probably.
something. All right, cool.
Like some parts are kind of also considered as Jwadong, but then I think it's Jungdong. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. So, because basically all of these areas kind of overlap.
Right.
There's a lot of really interesting places in both areas, and Dalmaji-gil is like a long stretch.
It is.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes from maybe Jwadong to Jungdong.
Right.
Right. Okay, cool. And another thing about Dalmaji-gil, it might be a little bit intimidating because it's very kind of like, I'm going to say hipster. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's a little hipster, so you might expect art galleries there.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's not just there. It's other parts of Jwadong as well.
Definitely.
And what part would be the art gallery area? Do you know offhand?
That's kind of more likely near Jungdong Station area too.
Okay.
They've got some few.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I think I know exactly where you're talking about.
Right?
Kind of like a newer development of apartments.
For sure.
Right around there. Okay, I got you. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and that is an area that has changed a lot since I've been here. And it's just kind of interesting to see how it develops. But at the same time, because it is kind of a newer town, right? Not anymore. It's a green city, right? It has moved on, but still, just the way it is developed, it's very walkable, easy to get around. So no matter where you're going to go, you don't really have to take a car.
And you can also start your journey of just traveling around this part of area from Jwadong because just like what you said, we have like several different ways that you can actually reach out to either Songjeong or even Dongbusan area. You
right.
can actually take a freeway right away, right, from like Changsan Mountain area.
Right.
And then also you can just directly take a tunnel from that ASEAN house.
Right, if you do want to drive. Yep, you got a lot of options.
And then also, if you drive, if you ride in a motorbikes or even electric bikes, you can just try to go up on the Dalmaji Hill for a great exercise, and then you can just pass over to the Songjeong area too, or Cheongsapo.
Right.
Even.
You just totally reminded me. I want to say it's called Haemaru.
Yeah, Haemaru.
It's the top of the hill.
Right.
There's tons of bikes that go up there, all like basically throughout the week. When I say bikes, I mean motorcycles. Bicycles too. I see people ride bicycles.
Bicycles,
sure.
yeah.
I don't know how they do it, but they do it. But you will see there are like, I'm not going to say bike gangs, but they're a group of motorcyclists who enjoy riding together.
Yeah.
And there's like a gathering spot on the top of Dalmaji area as well. So it's all like, well, yeah, no matter how you want to get around the area, people do. If you want to take a motorcycle, cool. You want to take a car, take a bus, and the subway. Also, that new line goes way out through there as well, right?
Yes. So that's why Chadong is one of the major spot, very accessible and then easily approach to other areas too.
Cool. When's the last time you were there particularly? Do you remember?
Today.
Oh, you were there today?
Yeah.
You did. Jimmy did some research.
I love hiking. I love going to Changsan and
Did you go up the mountain today?
Yeah.
Did you do the 3 hour?
Oh no.
I was going to say
just
he's
for
not
like
sweaty at all.
3 to 5 kilometers up, and then
Just
for like an hour.
You disgust me.
30
sir.
minutes and 30 minutes.
He said
That's an hour.
just 3 to 5 kilometers. I would be sweating like after 1 kilometer. I would turn around and go home. But okay, cool. So what time did you go? Really early?
Early in the morning, yeah, because it's still hot outside.
Right.
That's kind of one of my hobby. I love climbing. I love just exercising.
Cool.
At Changsan.
And was it any particular reason you went today? Was it because of the segment, or you go on Wednesdays, or
that too? Both.
Both?
Yeah. Hump day and a beautiful day for this, all around Busan segment.
I got you. You know what? All right. Well, very good. You know what? And I thank you for always coming in for All Around Busan all throughout the summer, every Wednesday. So where are we going to catch you next?
Oh, you guys will get to see me every Tuesday around 12:30.
Okay.
My next segment will be the real charm of Busan.
Oh.
So right now we are kind of stick to one particular area, one particular neighborhood.
Right.
But then as for the next segment, I really get to find out and then do the research, and then I'll let you guys know about the real charm, the real beauty of Busan.
Sounds good, right? So stay tuned because Jimmy will be back next week as well on Tuesdays, right?
Yes.
So awesome. Thanks so much for coming in as always. And we're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to Anywhere by Passenger, and we'll be back at 3 p.m.
Your bridge to the world. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전 기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
New season, new shows. BEFM's new season starts on September 9th. We have new voices coming your way.
From Monday through Sunday, every day from noon to 2 p.m. Join me, Nick Greenwood, for Midday Mates. Have some fun with your best mates in the afternoon with Midday Mates, filled with useful information and English learning.
Busan Ajime Park Sung-eun will be in charge of your daily English every day at 10:55 a.m. and 3:55 p.m. with Today's English. Tune in to BEFM News every day at 11 a.m., 12 noon, 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. with your trusty BEFM news announcers. The Chinese language program Busan is on Monday through Friday, and Hello Vietnam on Saturdays and Sundays, both from 11 a.m. to 12 noon, filling the airwaves with great contents. Don't forget, you can watch all of this too on our YouTube channel, so be sure to catch us on YouTube. Mark your calendars for September 9th for BEFM's new season, dedicated to bringing you the most informative and entertaining programming as always.
The time is now 3 o'clock.
Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard the song, bear with me, Jermaker from Led Zeppelin. If you see it spelled out, you might be like, is it Dire Maker? That's not how they say it. It's called Jermaker. And the reason is that song was meant to imitate reggae, and it's kind of dub derivative that we're emerging from, guess where? Jamaica in the early 1970s. And that song is off the album Houses of the Holy, the fifth studio album by Led Zeppelin, released in 1973. Why is that song remarkable? Well, it's in the drums, because John Bonham, who is kind of famously known as one of the best rock drummers of all time, couldn't play a reggae beat. So that, what you just heard there, he was trying to do a reggae beat, but it kind of turned into like a weird mix of like 50s doo-wop and reggae instead. And they actually got a really distinctive drum sound on that song by placing 3 microphones a good distance away from John Bonham's drums, and he would hit them plenty hard. So I'm sure they didn't need to be that close to begin with. And Led Zeppelin actually never performed that song live. They said it would have been difficult to pull off, and I think I know why. Yes, that one was a studio classic for a reason, for sure. Welcome back to the program, everybody. You're listening to us here on BEFM 90.5 in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Jeongwon, and Noksan areas. In Seoul, we're on TBS EFM 101.3 FM. And in Gwangju, we're on GGN 98.7 FM. I'm your host, Casey McKeever. Happy to be here with you on this Wednesday afternoon. And it's going to be my last Wednesday. I just got to remind you, because I don't want you to be surprised next Wednesday. So this is actually the last week for the 2 p.m. Reboot. We'll be on air until Sunday, this Sunday, September 8th. And our last full live show will be on Friday, September 6th. And then on Saturday, Sunday, we'll have our highlight show for the Reboot. And that'll be it for now. And, you know, parting is such sweet sorrow. But don't worry. There's going to be a great program starting on next Monday, September 9th. And it's going to be very exciting. Jimmy gave you a little bit of a preview there for his segment that he's going to be doing on Tuesdays. And perhaps I'll give you some more previews throughout the rest of the week. So be sure, stay with us. Enjoy this last week with me. I've enjoyed this entire summer. This has been the best summer job I've had in quite a long time. And I've still got a lot more on the show for you in hour number 2. Our daily list is coming up. We talked about the name Warren Buffett. I saw his name mentioned a little bit in the NawTube chat there. Some admiration for Buffett, his attitude towards food, for example. Jogum Tong Nim saying, no hassle, no showing off. He enjoys the usuals of food all of the time, everything he likes. I think that's how he lives in general. That might be on our daily list. We're going to talk about how Warren Buffett turned 94 last week and learn his secret to longevity. I think that might be part of it, his diet, which does perhaps include a cola brand and French fries, apparently. But I guess in moderation is the key, right? So we'll see. We'll see what it says on the daily list. See what we can learn from Warren Buffett. At the very least, you learn his name, and if you know about him and how he invests, that might be something you could learn from as well. Also, in hour number 2, we're going to have Inside Korea today. We do this every Wednesday and Thursday. We talk about some stories, some events, some culture happening here in South Korea. And a couple things we're going to talk about today. The KBO, for one, and the rural situation here in Korea. So rural as in countryside situation. And that's going to be really interesting news to look at. And, of course, we will have our perfect playlist, as we do at the end of every show. And this week, we've been featuring songs that are to motivate you for the new semester. Because, face it, I need it as a teacher. Students need it as students, right? We need that little extra push. It is the first week. It's hard to get back to it, right? So a little music that will help us out with that regard. And I will be checking your messages throughout the show, so feel free to hit me up. If you want to answer the question of the day, if you could live over 100, so Warren Buffett made it at 94. Let's assume you get over 100. What would you like to do next? 100살 넘게 살 수 있다면 100살 이후에 해보고 싶은 것은 무엇인가요? And I mentioned skydiving as something I recommend. I think I'm going to start a band. I was just listening to, Led Zeppelin. I love listening to Led Zeppelin. That album, Houses of the Holy. If you've never heard it, play it from start to finish. Great album. But I was just kind of listening to the drums, and I was like, yeah, I hope I'm still playing drums at age 100. There are some famous drummers who lived quite a long time, had amazing technique, played throughout, as long as they possibly could. I'm thinking, if I make it to 100, I'm going to start a new band. So I'm in. That's my new thing. I'm going to start a new band if I make it to 100. When I make it to 100, right? Be positive, right? That's it. If you want to send me your answer for that question, you can message me here at 샵9050 or pound 9050 for 101. You could reach us for free here at Kakao Talk. If you use the Kakao Talk app, search BEFM or 부산영어방송. Add us and send us messages that way. We have our very own smartphone app. If you go to the App Store on your phone, you just do the same search. It doesn't matter which phone, which app store, you just search BEFM 아니면 부산영어방송. And you can download the app. You can log in, send us some comments that way. You can also reach us right here on the NawTube chat. And you just go to youtube.com, search, guess. You can guess with me, right? You can say it. BEFM 아니면 부산영어방송. And it'll bring up our channel right there. And you can see people in there chatting about the benefits of living a Warren Buffett lifestyle. And also learning Chinese. Some language learning goals in there. Wanting to study Chinese? Cool. Learn another language after the age of 102, right? Why not? That's another thing you can do. So feel free to send me a message. I'll be happy to read it. And we're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to Little Talks by Of Monsters and Men. And we'll be back with today's Daily List. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard the song Little Talks by Of Monsters and Men. And now it is time for today's daily list. And this is all going to be about Warren Buffett. We talked about him as a famous business leader, right? Recently on the daily list this week, actually. And so this is a feature on him because he recently turned 94 just last week. He was born in 1930. So I can't do math very well, so I had to look that up. Okay. So yeah, he was born in 1930, and I was looking at some of the contemporary famous people of also born in 1930. Warren Buffett looks like he's really living well. He looks like he's healthy, in good shape. He's always out and about talking about his investments and giving advice to people. He's always, he meets with the stockholders of his company and gives addresses, and he's doing really well. So a lot of people are like, how do you do it? And so today we're going to see what we can learn about Warren Buffett's secret to longevity. How long has he been in the game? Well, he's, in case you don't know who he is, Warren Buffett is one of the most successful inventors basically of all time. He made his first stock purchase at the age of 11. Can you imagine? Like at 11 years old being like, yes, I'm going to buy a stock. Because also that would have been like 1941, right? Did anybody have any idea the stock market would be what it is today? Maybe he did. And that's why he's nicknamed the Oracle of Omaha, because he's from Omaha, Nebraska. And at 11 years old, he made his first stock purchase. Now his net worth is just over $148 billion. This is according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, a list I hope to be on in the very near future. Buffett says, he's, not he says, actually. Buffett's claim is well-deserved. He doesn't say that, but people say it's well-deserved because he's the chair of Berkshire Hathaway, which is, it's the company that he's the CEO of. 2 days ago, it became the first non-tech U.S. company to join the $1 trillion club. So under his leadership, they're doing pretty good. And so, let's see. What's the secret to longevity? Well, one thing I saw people talking about in the NawTube chat is how he eats, his diet. Is it a healthy diet? Apparently not. He says, I eat like a 6-year-old. He told Fortune magazine this in 2015. He loves a certain brand of potato sticks. He loves a certain brand of cola that he's a significant investor in. He says, if I eat 2,700 calories a day, a quarter of that is cola. I do it every day. Well, there goes your conventional wisdom about how to eat and live healthy. Okay. In a 2017 documentary called Becoming Warren Buffett, he also revealed that he stops at a fast food chain every day for a $3.17 breakfast made up of one of 3 items: 2 sausage patties, a sausage, egg and cheese, or a bacon, egg, and cheese. This does not sound like healthy food to me, okay? And he enjoys that with a cola for breakfast. Come on, man, really? For lunch, he often stops by another brand that's well known for ice cream for a chili cheese dog and an ice cream sundae with cherry syrup and chopped nuts, and frequently snacks on a kind of candy. Oh, my goodness. He's also known for his excessive use of salt, so much so that a former Wells Fargo CEO named John Stumpf compared it to a snowstorm. So he's one of those people that, my grandfather was the same way. No matter what the food's already got in it, he just grabs that salt shaker and goes at it. My grandfather used to, a bag of already salted potato chips, he would put more salt in that. Oh, why would you do that? All right. But apparently other people have witnessed this as well. Another well-known billionaire named Bill Gates has actually seen the childlike eating habits of Mr. Warren Buffett up close. Gates has recounted in 2017 how Buffett stayed at his house and had a well-known brand of black and white cookie. It's a chocolate cookie with the white filling in the middle for breakfast. He mostly eats hamburgers, ice cream, and cola. He may set a poor example for younger people, but it's a diet that somehow works for him. And okay, I think that might be the key. It works for him, right? Because this might not work for everybody. But there are some things that might work for everybody. Let's see. This is our list of how to live a long life according to Warren Buffett. Things that might work for you. Don't follow his diet, I think. Number 1 on the list, he gets 8 hours of sleep. So unlike a lot of early rising CEOs, Buffett values his sleep. He says, I have no desire to get to work at 4 in the morning. Oh, smart man. He says, I like to sleep, so I will usually sleep 8 hours a night. I wish I could do that. Good sleep is actually a way to extend your life, as noted by a study at the American College of Cardiology conference. According to Stanford professor Andrew Huberman, basically, if you get enough sleep, it has a role in stress relief, immunity support, and also emotional stability. So Warren Buffett is onto something with that one. Number 2 on the list, he plays a lot of bridge. If you don't know what bridge is, it's a card game. And he says, despite having to run a company with over 70 subsidiaries, he makes sure to allot 8 hours of his week to play multiple hands of bridge with his friends. He told the Washington Post, I play a lot. You're seeing a different intellectual challenge every 7 minutes. It's the best exercise there is for the brain, according to Buffett. He might be onto something. According to a major 10-year study published in the British Medical Journal, playing cards at least twice a week could help keep your memory sharp into old age. So there it is. Maybe playing cards, another good secret. One more. Number 3, he keeps his schedule light. Buffett may be one of the most powerful businessmen on the planet, but unlike other CEOs, he likes to keep his calendar rather light. 좋겠어요. Oh, I wish. In a 2017 interview, Gates says, or according to Bill Gates, said one of the lessons he had learned from Warren Buffett was the beauty of a free schedule, revealing that there were days on Buffett's calendar where there's nothing on it. And that might be a complete surprise. If you think, oh, this guy's successful billionaire, you expect he's always doing something. No. He says, I pretty much don't do anything I don't like to do. He told his attendees at the Berkshire Hathaway 2001 annual meeting, he said, I'm very fortunate in that I'm pretty much in command of my own time, but I have a lot of fun doing it. So in other words, don't tire yourself out with being too busy, right? This sounds like a lot of good advice. So diet aside, it sounds like good ideas so far. Get enough sleep, play card games with your friends, and keep a light schedule. Very cool. So we're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to a song very appropriately titled called Live Long by Kings of Convenience, and we'll be back with more of the Daily List. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard the song Live Long by Kings of Convenience, and that was off of their 2004 album, Riot on an Empty Street. And I was just talking with Na PD during the break. I was so excited because that was the first time I got to hear Kings of Convenience. And if you're listening to the show earlier in the summer, not even that long ago, we recently featured a Paper River interview. Paper River's a band in Changwon, and they are big fans of Kings of Convenience, and they also have like a personal connection. Shin Garam from the band Paper River actually does some of the artwork for their tour posters, and I've seen T-shirts and stuff that he makes for Kings of Convenience. So very cool. I got to place a little connection there. That was very cool. Right now, we're back with our daily list, and we're talking about secrets to longevity from Warren Buffett, who just made it to 94 last week. And so a lot of people are like, how does he do it? So there's a lot of things to learn already. Get 8 hours of sleep. Play a lot of card games with your friends, I think, is key too. Don't play solitaire by yourself. I don't think that works the same way. And also keeping your schedule or your calendar very light. And he basically said, I like to do what I like to do. And I don't like to do it, I don't do it. And that's a lot of things that you might not expect from a very successful CEO, especially one who apparently has cola for breakfast. But it works for him. So these things, let's see. Number 4 on the list of things to do to stay longevity, to have longevity. Yes, that's the word I was looking for, to have longevity, to live a long time. That's what we're talking about. Number 4 on the list, Warren Buffett loves to read. He spends 5 to 6 hours a day reading and thinking. I find it enjoyable to think about business or investment problems, he said in a documentary. And it's apparently an important way to spend time. According to a 14-year study published in the National Institutes of Health, engaging in reading can prevent cognitive decline. So there you go. Do you have to read about investing or business? I'm not sure. That's apparently what he does. But I think reading in general, any kind of reading, even like reading novels, fiction, whatever, biographies, I think all of it's good for your mental, to avoid cognitive decline. Good for your mental state, right? Number 5 on the list, he counts his blessings. All right, what does that mean? I'm curious. Okay, so at a 2008 annual meeting of his company, Buffett was asked about his secret to good health. He put a candy in his mouth promptly and said, well, you start with a balanced diet. And obviously people laughed at that because that seemed to be a little bit of a contradiction. And then he said, talking next to him was Charlie Munger, who was his vice chair, who passed at age 99 just last year. Buffett said, if Charlie and I can't have a decent mental attitude, who can? We've got great partners, great managers, great families. How could you be sour about life being blessed in so many ways? So in other words, he's basically thankful, he's grateful for what he's got. And according to research, if you practice gratitude, which means, yes, being grateful for what you have, that can reduce depression, anxiety, chronic pain, and even disease. So something we should all probably practice a little bit more. I will. Starting today, I will try to be more grateful. Number 6 on the list. He knows the importance of loving relationships. In order to have a healthy aging experience in your life, you need relationships more than you need your diet or exercise, apparently. An 85-year study from Harvard found that they are the biggest contributors to a longer, happier life, your relationships. And Warren Buffett agrees. He says, when you get to my age, you'll really measure your success in life by how many of the people you want to have love you actually do love you. There you go. So those are 6 things that Warren Buffett considers important in order to have a long life. So perhaps don't worry so much about his investment advice if that's not something for you. But I think instead focus on his kind of childlike spirit and focusing on doing what he loves. Obviously, that might be easier said than done for a lot of us, but still, practicing, being grateful for what you have, trying to find time to read, trying to find playing time for friends. Well, all of that sounds like good advice to me. I think don't start out your day with a cola, though. That's just my advice. We'll see. That's going to do it for the Daily List for today. We're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to Someone New by Hozier, and then we'll be back with Inside Korea.
someone new.
Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard the song Someone New by Hozier, and now it is time for Inside Korea. But I do want to get to a couple messages. I got a couple questions about me. Oh, I want to talk about me. Thank you. Choi Hisuk Nim saying, are you leaving for good? I am not leaving for good. I will be around. The new semester has started, so it's a little bit busy, a little hectic. But yes, I will be around on BEFM for sure. So you will hear my voice. And thank you for asking. And also, I see that message in the NoTube chat as well. So yes, I definitely will be around. And some of our guests that we have throughout the week, I'll let you, and a little preview of what they've got coming up soon as well. So thank you for your interest in that. And also, Choi Hisuk Nim saying about living long, I think money is the key to long life. You know, Warren Buffett never said that, but he's got plenty of it. So you might have a good point there. Also, I heard that if you go to bed at 10 p.m., you'll live longer. I've also read something not long ago about, you know, I think not necessarily exactly what time, but being consistent. So if you go to bed 10 p.m. like every night and you can pull that off, that's good for your longevity. So it's not like there's a magic hour. Maybe everybody's a little bit different, but if you can do it every night as much as possible, that perhaps is the key. Another question about the game Bridge. I mentioned that Warren Buffett likes to play Bridge. That is a card game that I've never played, but basically it's like four people usually play, and there are two teams. So two people on one team. It always seems to be around a green board for some reason, but I think Jogum Tong Nim had the best definition for Bridge. That's the game people play in Agatha Christie's books while someone is murdered in the other room. So that's a very succinct explanation of Bridge. I don't know how you play it, but yeah, typically in a lot of books, when somebody's playing Bridge, something bad happens somewhere else. So there you go. So be careful who you play Bridge with, especially if you're interested in your longevity. All right, now it is time for Inside Korea. We do this every Wednesday and Thursday. We talk about some stories, things that are happening, things that are going on here in the country we live in. And first up today, the KBO has had a historic attendance record, and this is boosting local business growth. So what is the KBO? That is Korea's professional baseball league, and it set a new record for the highest ever season attendance this year, surpassing 9 million spectators. The surge in crowd numbers across the league has also led to a significant increase in sales at restaurants near baseball stadiums. And I assume that played out as well here in Busan. According to an analysis by the Korea Credit Data, the average daily sales at restaurants near the 9 KBO stadiums saw substantial growth. All right, I want to know about Busan. You too, right? So the area around Busan's Sajik Stadium experienced the most significant increase. What's up, Busan people? Spending money. With average sales up 22.9% compared to the previous year. This was followed by the areas around Jamsil Stadium with an 18.5% increase. Daejeon Stadium at 16.2%, and Gwangju Stadium at 11%, and Changwon Stadium at 5%. So, in other words, increases everywhere, but nowhere as much of an increase as in Busan. 왜 그래요? Interesting. This analysis focused on card sales data from restaurants within a 1.5 kilometer radius of the stadiums, specifically during the 3 hours before and after games, comparing data from the first half of last season to the same period this year, from opening day through the mid-season All-Star break. There are probably several factors to drive the rise in sales, particularly at stadiums with the largest increases, and some of those things are team managerial changes, star player signings, and strong team performances, which attracted more fans, and thus more fans boosted more nearby business. Notable events included the appointment of Kim Tae-hyung as the new manager of the Lotte Giants, and the return of star pitcher Ryu Hyun-jin to the Hanwha Eagles. Additionally, the Tigers in Gwangju home games saw an average sale increase of 38.1% compared to when the team played away games, reflecting their first place standing this season. So obviously when they're at home, more business. Very cool. So interesting to see how baseball is influencing business for sure. Number 2, Hongseong-gun battles Korea's rural decline with self-sustaining export economy. So like a lot of remote countryside towns, Hongseong-gun or Hongseong County in South Chungcheong faces an uncertain future. The population of 97,524 registered residents, according to the Ministry of Interior and Safety, is waning and aging. Houses are empty and the streets are quiet. So while a lot of rural and even some urban cities are scrambling to retain their residents and get tourists at the same time, Hongseong-gun is a little bit more confident. It has implemented policies targeting potential newcomers, things such as establishing a children's center that takes care of children after school. Free childcare. Despite the shrinking classrooms, one of its villages has presented a 100-year plan. That is forward-looking, right? Yeah, I've heard of 5-year plans, a 100-year plan. For the people in Hongseong, its future survival and success is not measured in scale or numbers, but in coexistence, according to Ju Hyung-ro, the farmer and president of an eco-friendly farm village. We strive to coexist with nature as well as each other. So for those who are new, the old villagers teach them the ways of farm life without being overbearing, because that's the worst kind of teacher, right? That's the teacher you don't want. So Ju says, we are okay with being slow, and we also hope we can serve as a model for other rural areas. The county's ideals have translated to the introduction of innovative farming methods, tourist programs, and businesses. So you'll see everything from organic food and farming to booming dry seaweed operations, and these are part of Hongseong-gun's answers to its future in an uncertain world. So, one thing that they have to grow there, rice. They've got 1.7 million acres, which is about 708,000 hectares of rice fields in Korea. Hongseong County, however, has small rice fields in size, but they have an edge in quality. They specialize in organically harvested rice, and Eco-Friendly Farm Village is the first place in Korea to have implemented live ducks to help farm its rice in 1993. Releasing ducks into the rice fields controls weeds, and their excrement functions as a natural fertilizer, making chemical fertilizers and pesticides unnecessary. So there you go. Some out-of-the-box thinking, right? And thus the 100-year plan might be the plan to follow. Very cool. So that's very interesting news, things going on here in Korea, and that's going to do it for Inside Korea for today. We're going to take a quick song break. We're going to listen to Lean on Me by Bill Withers, and we'll be back with our perfect playlist.
if you need a friend.
Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard the song Lean on Me by Bill Withers, and now it is time for our perfect playlist for today. We've got some more songs to motivate you for the new semester. First up, we've got Victorious by Panic at the Disco. Whether you listen to this song preemptively or in celebration of achievement, it's got a fast pace and it's sure to boost your mood and either give you a sense of accomplishment or maybe just help you believe that you are capable of ambitious projects as well. No matter where you listen to it, it has to be played loud, however. So note to self, if you're in the car, you might have to turn this one up. Our second song is Joy by Bastille, and this is another upbeat, positive tune for those of you who are looking to brighten up your day. And just like its simple but accurate title, the song will make you feel happier and be more optimistic in just 3 short minutes. And that's what a good song does, right? So our 2 songs today for the perfect playlist, Victorious by Panic at the Disco, followed by Joy by Bastille. Welcome back to the 2 p.m. Reboot. You just heard the song Joy by Bastille, and before that was Victorious by Panic at the Disco. Our 2 songs for today's perfect playlist, and we're going to have to wrap it up there, folks. Thanks for joining me today. I've been your host, Casey McKeever. Appreciate all the messages. I enjoyed the side chat about Agatha Christie and Columbo as well in the NoTube chat there. Thanks for keeping me entertained as well. I hope you've enjoyed the show today. We're going to play one last song for you, made popular again by Stranger Things. We're going to finish up the show with Running Up That Hill, A Deal with God by Kate Bush. And have a fantastic Wednesday. Stay tuned for your Busan.